News Storm Team.
Welcome back, everyone, into KX News at 4, where for the most part we're dealing with clearing skies across the region. Our last system now fully departing us off towards our east into Minnesota at this point in time. But back behind it, you're definitely noticing those breezier conditions, and it's all because of the fact that we do have a dome of high pressure attempting to slide back into control, and it is kind of interacting with this last system, creating that breeze. And back behind that, even further, a little bit of a low developing out towards the Pacific coastline. This may in fact bring us a slight chance for showers, but it'll be very location dependent as we get into tomorrow, and we'll get into that in just a bit here. But for right now, here's where we stand in terms of that breeze. Out of the northwest, you can see sustained in Williston, 26 miles per hour. Not too far behind that in Bismarck, where we're sustained around 21 miles per hour. Same goes for you in Minot as well. The exception being out towards Dickinson, the southwestern corner of the state, starting to see a little bit of that breeze dying down at this point in time. We're going to see the wind gusts coming back into play here and there through the course of the next several days. But for right now, when we get into 5, 6 o'clock this evening, things should die down substantially. We'll be back to a bit of a calmer state, but notice how things turn as we get into Thursday. Further into Thursday specifically here, where you may notice a bit of a return to that purple on the map there, indicating that potential of 35 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts, especially right between Minot and Williston along the Highway 2 corridor there. Of course, nothing is set in stone at this point in time, but certainly something you want to be mindful of. If you do have any Halloween inflatables out there, recommend you do take things into account here in terms of the wind gust forecast and make sure they're nice and tied down and secure, or even bring them inside for the night. Overall, looking at precision cast, still talking clear skies prevailing here. It's not until we get closer into tomorrow evening where we could in fact see a slight chance for some showers developing. And by the afternoon, it means we're still kind of caught up into these upper 40s, the lower 50s. This will likely remain the pattern and the trend here as we're getting further and further into the fall months. Unfortunately, it means gone are the 60s and really gone are the 70s for sure here. But as we get into tomorrow evening, notice that quick what we call shortwave coming into play, and it could bring us a slight return to some steady showers, especially to the north of the Highway 2 corridor there, maybe along Highway 83. I don't really expect this to get as far south as I-94 and south of that, but it's something we'll be mindful of. Very quick moving, certainly nothing like we endured going into yesterday in terms of those steadier rain showers. So as we look at Williston's next 5, we're going to be talking those temperatures into the 50s for at least tomorrow. Beyond that, a couple days of 40s on the docket here, especially as we get into Friday down into those lower 40s. If you're not a fan of the 40s, back to the 50s for Saturday and Sunday. As you look at Dickinson's next 5 as well, fortunately, really, the 40s are likely going to be returning right for Halloween, so you may need a few layers and bundling up as you're going out trick-or-treating here. But as we look at Minot's next several days, still talking temperatures into the 50s for at least tomorrow. Beyond that, a couple days of 40s down the pipeline here as we get into Sunday. May see a return to the upper 50s briefly. And finally, looking at Bismarck's next several days, still talking those temperatures into the 50s, at least for right now. Brief return to the 40s for Halloween and Saturday. Sunday might be the best day of the weekend, climbing closer to the 60-degree mark.
It'll be nice to feel kind of an enjoyable weekend here, especially for, we're almost into November, so we'll appreciate the sunshine in the 50s as long as they possibly last.
Finally, a weekend with no wind and no breeze. How about that?
Dare I say, we finally get a weekend day where it's not 50-mile-an-hour winds.
Hopefully that stays the case.
Well, I certainly hope so, especially after what's been kind of a soaker the last couple days.
Hopefully we're not finding that Halloween inflatable right down the block.
Unfortunately, some homeowners, they have to scurry down the road and kind of protect what's theirs, and some of those fun decorations for the kids. Vanessa, thanks so much, and stay with us. Coming up next, the holiday season often